the fact. At the top of your mat, please take a couple of lovely deep shrugs of your shoulders and begin to animate your fingers. Just noticing the ripple effect as the shoulders move, sending that attention past the elbows into the forearms, wrists, and fingers. Taking a few curious exploratory movements of your head and neck, and a few rounds of your Jivha Bandha. Many of you are already well familiar with the practice of Jivha Bandha, but a little reminder, Jivha means tongue, by the way, and Bandha means to band, bind, or seal. So we're sticking the tongue firmly up against the roof of the mouth, flat, please. We need the back of the tongue in contact with the hard palate. And then initiate your natural swallowing reflex, like you've got a sticky piece of minty on the roof of your mouth that you're trying to prise off. And then start to hinge the lower jaw open, leaving the tongue against the roof of the mouth so that you stretch the frenulum, the piece of connective tissue that ties the tongue to the lower jaw, and just letting the tongue pop off when it's ready. Taking a few rounds. What does Jivha Bandha have to do with Ashtanga? Well, quite a lot, as it turns out. The tongue is the very beginning point of our Jalandhara Bandha and is one end of the continuum, the other end being our Mula Bandha. So this morning we'll be enjoying a lovely focus on the tongue, and you are invited to continue finding a full Jivha Bandha every time you come into your upward facing dog. Closing down the eyes, please exhale completely. Take a big boisterous inhale through your nose. Hold on to that, top it up with the second inhale, and now exhale through the mouth slowly. Good. Again, big nasal inhale. Hold on to that, top it up, really fill the lungs, and now exhale through the mouth slowly. Good. Two more. Big nasal inhale. Hold on to that. Take a second inhale to really inflate the lungs as much as you can. And exhale through the mouth, even through pursed lips, like you're blowing that air out through a straw. We'll take one more round of our reset breath. And now come to settle, bringing the tongue to rest against the hard palate. Let the jaw relax and move the breath slowly and smoothly through the nose. Allowing the corners of your mouth to turn up slightly. The hard part is behind you. You got out of bed, you made it onto your mat. Encouraging that free, expansive movement of your abdomen and rib cage as you breathe. Softening the shoulders. And invite yourself to become curious about the relationship between the tongue and the core. Feeling the skull and the neck supported by that gentle posture of the tongue. And envisaging within your body a great egg of prana, of space, of air. The top of that egg formed by the seal of the tongue against the palate. The walls of the egg formed by your rib cage and abdomen. And the floor of that egg symbolized and formed by your own pelvic floor. And as you begin to welcome the texture and sound of your ujjayi breath as you lend your breath a little bit more texture and tone. Noticing how that prana-filled breath is filling that egg-like space. And taking a moment to reflect on and enjoy the rhythm of the breath, the expansion and softening of that internal egg. Reminding yourself to come back to this intention, to check the tongue, to smooth out the breath any stage during your practice that you perhaps notice any tension or strain creeping in. Please exhale completely. Inhale, picking up the arms, bring the palms to meet above your head and gaze up to the thumbs, soft face. Exhaling, soft knees and fold forward, Uttanasana. Pausing here in your first forward fold, tucking the chin so that the back of your neck feels long, and taking some deeper alternating bends of your knees as you sink the weight from hip to hip, from heel to heel, coaxing some warmth and attention into the backs of the legs, the outsides of the hips, and the lower back. Coming to settle in your forward bend, take your fingers onto your shin bones and inhale, lift the heart halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhaling, refold. Root down through the feet. As you inhale, rise back to standing. Let the palms meet above your head at the top of the inhale. Right hand takes left wrist. Lift the ribs, long lower back, and exhale, leaning up and over to the right hand side. Come back through center as you inhale, changing wrist grips, keeping this lower back long, and exhale, leaning up and over to the left. Inhale, back through center, palms touch, gazing up to the thumbs. Soft knees as you exhale and fold forward to Uttanasana, standing forward bend. Fingers to shins. Inhale, lift the heart halfway. Exhale, refold. Two more just like that, fingers to shins. Inhale, lift the heart. Keep the back neck long. Exhale, fold. Last one, inhale, lift the heart. And this time as you exhale, fold forward, taking your hands to find the earth and stepping back right foot, then left foot to high plank. Pausing here in your first high plank to generate some heat as you drive the heels back. Also drive down, push down through the arms into the broad supports of your hands and grip your fingerprints to the mat. Pick up the base of your skull. Check your tongue is resting against the ceiling of your mouth. Curl your tailbone slightly under toward the heel space for 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, bring your knees to find the earth, and exhale, untuck your toes. Keep the tops of the feet connected. Send the shoulders forward in space. Inhaling, let the pelvis descend. Lift your eye gaze to the ceiling, finding your jivha bandha here. Elbows soft. And as you exhale, peel back into downward facing dog. As you arrive in your first down dog, taking this opportunity to pedal out slowly through the knees and the heels. Giving the legs your full attention. Noticing the knee that bends, can you rise up high onto the toe tips, feeling into the webbing between the toes? The leg that is straightening, sending a deep taproot of attention through the middle of that heel and to the earth. Perhaps including a slight side bending element as you pedal out the heels. Come to settle now in your down dog. Spread and Plant down through the hands and the fingerprints, lifting your eye gaze slightly up past the knees so that you feel your neck long, a slight lifting sensation in the base of the skull. Wrap the outer triceps down toward the earth. And with a suggestion of softness in the knees, begin to reach your tailbone long toward the back corner of the ceiling. Exhale completely. Let the rib cage sink and settle. Inhaling, rising high to tip toes. Exhale, bend your knees deeply and look forward. Don't let the pelvis drop. On the empty breath, step right foot, then left foot to the top of the mat. Fingers to shin bones. Inhale, lift the heart. Refold as you exhale, drive down through the feet, strong legs now as you inhale, rise to stand, palms meet above the head, gazing up to the thumbs. And ride the next exhale slowly all the way back down to Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, half lift, fluid spine. And as you exhale, refold. Hands meet the earth, stepping back, left foot, then right foot to high plank. Pausing here in your high plank. Spread the fingers wide, plug down into the fingerprints like gecko pads as you push through the arms and balloon and lift the back of the rib cage a bit higher, driving the heels toward the back of the mat and lifting the base of your skull. Check your tongue is against the ceiling of your mouth. Inhale, bring your knees to find the earth, and exhale, untuck the toes. Tops of the feet connecting, deliberately send your shoulders forward. Inhale, let the pelvis gently drop. Lift the eye gaze, finding your jivha bandha, elbows soft. And exhale, peeling back to downward facing dog. Coming to settle in this second down dog. Of course, if you need to move the hands and feet a bit closer together to shorten your foundation, then do so. Can you smooth out and elongate the breath? Invite yourself to experience downward facing dog as a resting pose. Remember, child's pose is your next best shape if you need it for whatever reason. Please exhale completely. Let the ribs sink and settle. As you inhale, rise high to tiptoes. Keep that tailbone lifting in space as you exhale, bend the knees, look forward. On the empty breath, step left foot, then right foot to the top of the mat. Inhale, half lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale and fold. Inhale, rise to stand. Palms meet above your head, right at the apex of the inhale, gaze to the thumbs. And exhale, folding straight back down, Uttanasana. Fluid spine as you inhale to half lift. Exhale, refold. Take the hands to the earth and step back, right foot, then left foot to high plank. Pausing here. Find the plug down through the hands, the push down through the arms. Lift the back of the skull, check your tongue, drive the heels toward the back of the mat and hug the muscles of your legs onto their bones. Curl the tailbone under slightly. On your next inhale, let your knees find the earth and exhale, untuck the toes. Send the shoulders forward in space, check your tongue. Inhaling, let the pelvis descend. Take the eye gaze up, jivha bandha, soft elbows here. And exhaling, peel back to downward facing dog. Come to settle and smooth out the breath. Wrapping outer triceps down. Soft knees as you reach the tailbone up. Exhaling, let the rib cage sink and settle gently. Inhale, rise to tiptoes. Exhaling, bend the knees deeply, look forward. Keep the tailbone tilting up in space, and on the empty breath, step right foot, then left foot back to the top of the mat. Inhale, half lift, Ardha Uttanasana, lengthen the back neck. Refold as you exhale. Inhaling, rise to stand slowly. Let the palms meet above the head, gaze up. And this time as you exhale, bring your arms back down to your sides. Smooth out the breath and take a moment to acknowledge the warmth, the space, and the movement that you are creating internally. The invitation from now on is to include your full chaturanga if you're feeling it this morning. Otherwise, please continue working with our modified chaturanga to up dog. We'll continue the inclusion of a jivha bandha as we find our upward facing dog. Please exhale completely. As you inhale, pick up the arms, let the palms meet right at the top of that inhale, gazing up. And exhale, smooth float forward to Uttanasana. Fingers to shin bones. Inhale, lift the heart length through the back neck, and exhale, refold. Let your hands find the floor. Step or hop your feet back to high plank. One inhale here to prepare as you push down through the arms, and now exhaling, travel through your chaturanga, knees on or off the floor. Tongue against the ceiling of the mouth as you inhale to upward facing dog with jivha bandha, and exhaling back to downward facing dog. Smooth, steady breaths. Lift the eye gaze up past the knees, long neck, buoyancy in the skull. Exhale completely, let the rib cage sink and settle. Inhale, rise high to tiptoes. Exhaling to bend your knees deeply, look forward. On the empty breath, step or hop your feet to the top of the mat. Arriving fingers to shin bones, inhale, lift the heart. Refolding as you exhale. Let the inhale do the work to lift you back to standing. Palms meet above the head, gazing up. Beautiful. And exhale, folding forward. Last round of Surya Namaskar A. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Long through the back of the neck. Exhale, refold. Hands find the earth and step or hop the feet back, finding high plank. One inhale here as you push down through the arms, fill the upper back balloon, and exhale, travel through your chaturanga slowly, tongue against the ceiling of the mouth. Inhaling, upward facing dog, jivha bandha. Exhale, peel back to downward facing dog. Fingers spread, fingerprints and palms plugged down. Wrap the outer arms down toward the long edges of the mat. Lengthen the neck by lifting the eye gaze slightly. With softness in your knees, begin to tip the tailbone higher and send down 2 deep tap roots through the middle of each heel and into the earth. Exhaling, let the ribs sink. As you inhale, rise to tiptoes, exhaling to bend your knees deeply and look forward. On the empty breath, step or hop to the top of the mat. Inhale, half lift, fluid spine. Exhale, refold. Strong legs, plug down into the feet and let the inhale lift you up to standing. Palms meet above the head. Take the eye gaze to the thumbs and smile. And this time as you exhale, bring your arms down to your side. Begin to bend your knees deeply. Tap your fingers past your heels. Inhale, sweep the arms forward to chair pose. Exhale, hands through the heart line and fold to Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, fluid spine here. Exhale, refold. Hands to the earth, step or hop the feet back to high plank. One inhale as you press down through the columns of the arms, and exhaling, travel through Chaturanga. Tongue against the ceiling of the mouth, move slowly. Inhaling, upward facing dog, Jivha Bandha as you arrive. And exhale, peeling back to downward facing dog. As you inhale, lift to your tiptoes. Exhale to bend the knees, look forward, and on the empty breath, step your right foot, toes just behind the right thumb. Swivel the back left heel to the mat. And as you inhale, rise to warrior one. The arms above the head, palms touching, or if there's discomfort or gripping in the shoulders or neck, keep the hands and arms shoulder width apart. Relax the shoulders. Lift the eye gaze to the hands or the space between them, but keep the chin lifting up in space so you haven't collapsed the base of your skull against your neck. Charge the energy in the arms and fingers and take a slightly deeper bend in the front knee, pressing more deliberate attention along the outer edge of the back left foot. If you have any issues with your knee, ankle, or lower back, you may choose to substitute warrior one for a high lunge framework instead. Feel your left rib cage wrapping forward slightly and let the tailbone drop. Inhale, release the back heel, and as you exhale, take your hands to frame your front foot. Inhale, right foot steps to the back of the mat, and exhale, travel through Chaturanga. Check your tongue as you go. Inhale, upward facing dog, Jivha Bandha. Exhale, back to downward facing dog. Inhale, rise to tiptoes. Exhale, bend your knees deeply, look forward. On the empty breath, step your left foot just behind that left thumb. Drop the back right heel to the mat. And inhale, rise to warrior one. As you arrive, exhale to soften the shoulders, the eyes up toward the thumbs or the space between the hands, but find that lifting of the chin so the neck feels supported. Charging the energy in the arms, take a slightly deeper bend in that front left knee. Pressing attention and effort along the outer edge of the back right foot. Plug down through the center of that heel. Feeling the right rib cage wrapping forward toward the top of the mat, let the tailbone feel heavy. Inhale, lift the back heel away from the earth, and exhale, take your hands to the earth, either side of the front left foot. Inhale, step the left foot to the back of the mat. Travel through Chaturanga with control as you exhale. Check the tongue. Inhale, upward facing dog, Jivha Bandha here. And exhaling back to downward facing dog. 5 slow, smooth breaths. Refine your points of awareness here, the hands, the wrap down of the outer arms, the slightly elevated eye gaze to encourage length in the neck and lifting in the skull. Some softness in the knee joints so the tailbone can lift. Exhale completely, let the ribs feel heavy and settle. And now inhale, rise to tiptoes. Exhale, bend your knees deeply, look forward. On the empty breath, step or hop your feet to the top of the mat. Arriving fingers to shin bones. Inhale, float the heart halfway. Exhale, refold. Bend the knees deeply, tap your fingers past your heels. Inhale, Utkantasana, chair pose. Straighten the knees, look up to the thumbs. And as you exhale, bring your arms down to your side, pausing here, smoothing out the breath, making a conscious connection with the felt experience of the practice as it unfolds within your internal landscape. Taking your hands up onto your hip bones now, please heel and toe your feet out hip width apart. Keep a slight hug of the shoulder blades and elbows towards one another behind you. Let the tailbone drop and spread and plug down in the toes. Create a feeling here as though you are hugging an invisible yoga block between your inner heels, lighting up the pathways on the insides of the legs. Inhale, lift the chin up. And as you exhale, fold forward slowly, reaching the hands down to take hold of your big toes between the thumbs, index, and middle fingers. As you inhale, half lift, long neck. Exhale, folding forward, letting your elbows drop out to the side, letting your shoulders roll forward to temporarily crowd the nape of the neck. Reconnect with that feeling of squeezing an invisible yoga block between the heels so the knees are slightly softened. And on your next inhale, regather the shoulder heads, wrapping them up and sliding them back toward the waistline. Tuck the elbows alongside the legs. With the tongue against the ceiling of the mouth, encourage a feeling of weightedness in the crown of your head. Let your skull feel heavy and your neck feel long. Keeping the toes plugging down against the contact of the index and middle fingers as you inhale, half lift. Slide the palms of the hands beneath the soles of the feet and exhale, refold. Once more, let the elbows drop out to the sides. Encourage your toes to creep up as close toward the wrist creases as possible, maybe bending the knees if you need to. And now inhaling, reclaim those shoulder heads, wrap them up and slide them toward the waist as you tuck the elbows alongside the lower legs. Maybe even very carefully wiggling the toes to apply some gentle massage to the delicate tissues in the heels of the hands to release into the wrists. Keeping the toes plugged down into the contact of the hands, inhale, lift the heart halfway. And as you exhale, take your hands up onto your hips, but keep your head down low, please. Magnetize the shoulder blades and elbows towards each other behind you, lifting just your chin and pause. Keep the head down low, protecting your blood pressure. Spread and plug down into the toes and rise to stand slowly on an empty breath, a neutral breath. Heel and toe the feet back together and take a wide stance out, setting up for our triangle pose. Turning the toes of the right foot to face the short edge of the mat and letting your left heel drop out just a fraction. Hugging the quads against the femurs, let the front knee feel a little bit softened and supported. As you inhale, take the arms out in line with the shoulders. And exhale, take a long lean out over your right leg, setting up for our triangle pose here. Windmill the arms, letting the right hand come to land somewhere on the inseam of that right leg. Tuck your chin and gaze up to the left thumb. Remember, the aim of this shape is not necessarily taking the hand to the floor. Rather, we're trying to keep the chest stacked above the right leg. Notice the contact of the back of the right hand against the inside of that right leg, pressing those points against each other to gently lever the sternum toward the sky. Keep breathing slowly and smoothly. Exhale, take the eye gaze down to the thumb. Soft in the front knee. Let the inhale do the work to pick you up and out of this shape. Keeping the arms charged and engaged. Exhale, swivel on the heels to reorient the feet. Soft in the left knee now. Stay here. Inhale, pick up the rib cage, lengthen the lower back. And exhale, leaning out long over your left leg. Finally, windmill the arms to find triangle pose here on the left. Tuck the chin to gaze up at the right thumb. Maintaining that push-pull relationship between the back of the left hand, the inseam of the left leg. Using that leverage to spin the chest toward the sky. Soft in the leading leg. Let that left knee feel supported. Exhale, look down. Let the inhale pick you back up. And exhale, step your back foot to the top of the mat, palms meet in front of the heart to reset. Picking up your yoga block, just one of them for now. We're setting up for our revolved triangle pose. Standing with your feet hip width apart at the top of your mat. If you're not sure what hip width apart is, it's 2 fists placed between the knuckles of your big toes or your heels. That is your own perfect hip width. Please place your block up on its highest setting, just next to your right foot. Step your left foot back, just far back enough so that you're able to disperse the weight evenly through both legs, not so far back so that your torso starts to spin out to the left side of the room. Bring your right hand to rest on your sacrum and tuck the elbow back so the chest feels wide. And now inhaling, lift up your left arm, paint an arc across the sky, lifting your eye to the thumb, lean back into the support of the left leg as you arrive. And as you exhale, hinge the pelvis forward slowly, reaching that left arm forward in space and stop when you're about halfway down. Spread the toes and plug down into the contact of the feet. Reach the left arm forward, feeling the left rib cage starting to wrap down toward that right foot. Finally, allowing your left hand to find the block. Deliberately anchor and push down through the contact of your left hand against the block, feeling that updraft through the arm, collarbones, and into the right hand. As you take that right hand slowly up toward the sky. Let the chin tuck toward the right shoulder so the neck is long. Sliding the right hip slightly back in space, send the crown of the head forward, the tailbone back. When you're ready, take your right hand back onto your sacrum. Exhale to look down at the block. Soft in that front right knee as you inhale to rise back up. Take the left hand up in space, little lean back into the left leg, left hip flexor as you arrive. And exhale, step that left foot back to the top of the mat. Change the block, moving it across to the left side of the left foot. Feet hip width apart now, step your right foot back in space. Feel the weight is even through both of your legs. Bringing your left hand to rest on the sacrum. Hug the shoulder blade and elbow in. And inhale, picking up that right hand, reaching the arm up. Take a lean back into the back right leg as you arrive. And exhale, slowly tip the torso and pelvis forward. Again, stop when you're about halfway down. Prioritize that deliberate reach of the right arm. Wrap the right rib cage down toward the front left leg. Finally, allowing your right hand to find the block and employ a deliberate push of that right hand down into the block so the heart lifts, spiraling the chest toward the wall on the left-hand side, and take your left hand slowly up Let the chin just rest almost on that left shoulder. Sending your left hip slightly back in space. Send the crown of the head forward, the tailbone back. Return the left hand to rest on your sacrum and exhale, looking down. Soft in that front knee now. Let the inhale do the work to lift you up. Take a lean back into that right leg as you arrive. And exhaling, step the back leg forward. Popping the block out of the way for now, give the shoulders a nice shrug. The next few shapes will weave into another round of Surya Namaskar B. Please exhale completely. And inhale, picking up the arms, palms meet above the head, gazing up. Exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. Fingers to shins. Inhale, lift the heart halfway. Exhale, refold. Step or hop the feet back to high plank. One inhale here to prepare. Travel through Chaturanga as you exhale. Inhale, upward facing dog, Jivha Bandha here. And exhaling back to downward facing dog. Hover your right foot just off the mat, flexing the toes up toward the shin. And take a long, slow inhale to float that right heel up toward the ceiling. Keep the pelvis neutral as you lift the leg. At the top of that inhale, peeling the right hip open and exhaling to bend the knee. Focus here on lifting that right knee up. Tuck your chin and gaze underneath the left armpit, encouraging the right rib cage, right armpit to just drop down a little bit. Beautiful. Inhale, rise to tiptoes of the standing left foot. As you exhale, bend your left knee deeply and look forward. On the empty breath, step your right foot between the hands. Lift to your fingertips and drop the back left heel to the earth. Plugging down, feeling the legs and feet strong. As you inhale, open out slowly to warrior two. Exhale, relax your shoulders, soften your face, gazing out over that right hand. Slightly softening the elbows here. Create a feeling as though you are pushing down and away through the feet and legs, pressing down and away through the hands and arms. Allow your left hip to just move slightly forward in space so that the right knee is tracking directly above the heel. As you inhale, take a long lean out over that front right leg. And as you exhale, bring the middle of your right forearm to land on the middle of your right thigh. Palm faces the ceiling, left hand finds the left hip for now. Just giving your toes a little spread and a plug down. Gazing in the direction of your left elbow and left hand, feeling and watching yourself using that left hand to open the left hip. Sink the tailbone in the direction of the back left heel. Maintaining that deliberate press down with your right forearm against the right thigh so that there's an updraft, a lift in the rib cage and lengthening in the spine. As you inhale, take your left hand up toward the ceiling. Turn the palm of the left hand to face you now and exhale, drop the bicep over to rest against the cheekbone. Keep spiraling the heart toward the ceiling here, finding a side bend within a side bend. As you drive down through the right forearm to lift and flare the left rib cage and reach attention through your left arm and out through the fingertips. Inhale, come back to warrior two. As you exhale, take your hands up onto your hip bones. Carefully swivel on your back heel so that you land up on the ball of that back foot, and we have arrived in a standing lunge. Perhaps just hopping that back foot in a little bit closer to the top of the mat so that your stance is shorter and more secure. Let the back knee bend. Curl your tailbone under, hands on the hips, squeeze the shoulder blades and elbows together, and lean your chest back. Just focusing on that left hip flexor for now. Notice what happens here when you drop your chin down toward your chest, but keep the chest lifting up to the chin. When you squeeze those shoulder blades, elbows closer together behind you. When you lean the chest back and curl the tailbone under. Inhale, take your hands to find the earth. And as you exhale, step the front foot to the back of the mat. Bring your knees to find the floor. Walk your hands back in toward you, finding a high kneeling position. We're setting up for our Ustrasana, camel pose. Picking up your block and placing it between your thighs. Stay up on the toes, on the balls of the feet. Arranging your hands so that they are resting on the rear shelf of the pelvis. Squeezing shoulder blades, elbows together. Squeeze the block between the thighs and begin to press your hips forward in space, lifting the ribs up and away from the lower back and keeping the chin dropping down, even working with the intention of resting the chin in that lovely little divot in the middle of your collarbones. Keep squeezing the block between the thighs, pressing the hips forward, squeezing the shoulder blades, lifting the ribs up. Very slowly, very gently, bringing your sit bones back to land on your heels. Stay up on the balls of the feet if you can and pop the block out of the way. Taking a moment to rebound here in this low kneeling position. Check your tongue. Smooth out and slow down the breath. Making your way slowly back into downward facing dog. Hover your left foot just off the mat. Take the full length of your next inhale to slowly float that left heel up in space. At the top of that inhale, peel the left hip open and exhale, bend the knee. Keeping the left knee up nice and high, tuck the chin and look under the right armpit, encouraging the left ribs and left armpit just to drop down, even distribution of weight across the shoulders. Inhale, rise to tiptoes of the standing right foot. Exhaling, right knee bends deeply, looking forward on the empty breath. Land your left foot between your hands. Lift to fingertips for a moment. Swivel the back right heel to find the earth. And let the inhale lift you buoyantly and slowly to arrive in Warrior Two. Exhale, soften the shoulders, relax the face. Let your right hip move forward in space. Left knee tracks above the heel. And now finding that intention, that sensation of pushing down and away through the feet and legs, down and away through the hands and arms. Inhaling, leaning out long over the front left leg. Exhale, left forearm comes to rest on the thigh, palm facing the ceiling. Take your right hand to the hip. Tuck your chin, gazing across toward your right elbow, watching and feeling yourself here, using that right hand to guide the hip open and lengthening the tailbone toward the back heel. Stay lifted and long in the left side waist with the help of that left forearm pushing down against the leg. Spiral the heart toward the sky. Inhale, take the right hand above you. Turn the palm of the hand to face you and exhale, gently drop your bicep over to rest on the right cheekbone. Keep spiraling the heart toward the sky and finding the side bend within this side bend as you lift and flare the right rib cage and reach a strong line of attention from the outside of your right hip all the way out through the fingers of that lifted right hand. Spread the toes, plug down through the feet, and as you inhale, find your way slowly back to warrior two. Exhaling, take your hands to your hips, rise up onto the ball of the back foot, hop that foot in slightly, finding your steady, narrow, high lunge position. Keep the shoulder blades, elbows squeezing together. Drop the chin and lean the chest back. Curl the tailbone under. Slow, smooth breaths. Can you lean the chest back just a fraction further? Inhaling, take your hands to find the floor. And exhale, step that left foot again to the back of the mat. Bring your knees down to the floor. Walk your hands back in, finding your high kneeling position for our second set of Ustrasana camel pose. Block squeezing between the inner thighs, up high on the toe tips and the balls of the feet. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Start to press your hips forward in space. Lift the ribs up and out from the lower back. And either remain here with the chin tucked and looking down with the eye gaze, or if your neck feels safe and happy, you can move your chin forward in space and take your head back by lifting the chin up, tracing a line down the sky with your eye gaze. Keep the shoulder blades, elbows squeezing together. Perhaps reaching your hands back to find your heels. Keep clamping that block between your thighs. Send the hips forward in space. Holding for 3, 2, and 1. Leave the head where it is. If you took it back, just let your hands find your lower back. And now, please, everyone, bring your sit bones gently back to land on your heels. Just let your head follow the rest of your spine as the sit bones settle. Popping the block out of the way, but staying up here on the balls of the feet as you rebound. Slow the breath. Let the face soften. Making your way very carefully back into downward facing dog. From your down dog, exhale. As you inhale, lifting high to tiptoes. Exhaling, bend the knees deeply and look forward. On the empty breath, step or hop your feet to the top of the mat. Inhale, half lift, long through the back neck. Exhale, refold. As you inhale, rise slowly to stand. Let the palms meet above your head, gazing up to the thumbs. And exhale, bring your arms down to your side. Setting up for our Prasarita Padottanasana C. Take a wide stance out along the long edge of your mat. Angling your big toes in slightly. So there's a suggestion of being a little bit pigeon-toed through the feet. Take an interlace of hands and fingers behind you, or if there is restriction, tightness in the chest, please pick up your strap and hold the strap between the hands. Keep drawing the shoulder blades towards the spine as you inhale, lift the chin. Hug the heels closer together against the stickiness of the mat and float forward as you exhale slowly. Just let the pelvis tip forward. Let the torso travel forward, maybe bending your knees to facilitate that. As you arrive in this forward fold, Just reconnecting with the squeeze of the shoulder blades as you take the arms away from the back body. Encouraging a sense of weightedness, of heaviness in the crown of the head. Slow the breath. Can you take the arms just a little bit further? Gently relinquish the interlace of your hands or pop that strap down. Keep your head down low for now as you take your hands up onto your hip bones, elbows pointing up to the sky. Keeping the head down low, start by lifting just your chin up. Let the circulation in those delicate vascular structures in your neck return to normal, and then rise to stand very slowly on an empty breath, a neutral breath. Stepping to the top of your mat. Our final standing shape before we come down to wring everything out on the floor. This week, this morning, is our Vrikshasana, our tree pose, which is not in either of the primary or second series, but I'm a rebel like that. How's everyone traveling? Can I get a thumbs up, Ness, if you're feeling good? Good on you, Sarah. Thank you. Amazing. So before you get carried away with arranging your leg in position, let's just start with the feet hip width apart, eye gaze forward. A reminder that two really important aspects for balancing is a steady eye gaze and that tongue resting you know where up against the hard palate. Start by just shifting weight and attention into the left leg. Sometimes this is the best balancing pose available. As you feel situated and aware of that left leg, float your right knee forward in space and then open the right hip out like a gate, perhaps using your hand to help guide that right foot to rest either above or below the knee joint on the inside of the thigh or the inside of the calf muscle. Take the arms out in line with the shoulders to help with your balance. Find that feeling that we had in Warrior Two of pushing down and away through the hands and arms. And now begin to gently press your right foot against the inside of your left leg and let the left leg push back, feeling the tailbone drop and the spine rising long from the pot of the pelvis. Try not to sink or drop the weight into that left hip. Keep the tailbone dropping, the right knee opening wide. If you've got your balance, bring your hands to meet one another in front of your heart or take them above your head. Keep that press of the right foot against the left leg. Let the left leg push back. This is the essence of Bandha, the balance of push-pull, tension and compression. Move the right knee to face forward. Take the right leg out long in front of you, hands to the hips. Lean toward that lifted right leg. Lift that right leg a bit higher for 3, 2, and 1. Calmly bring your right foot to land on the floor. Try not to huff and puff. Good. Second set. Keep the eyes steady. Check your tongue. And start by just shifting the weight into the right leg this time. Feeling yourself inhabiting that right leg as you float the left knee forward in space, opening that left hip out like a gate, and then using your hands to help guide the sole of the left foot to rest somewhere along the inseam of that right leg, above or below the knee, please. Arms out in line with the shoulders, finding that intention of pushing down and away through the hands and arms, pressing the left foot against the right leg. Let the right thigh squeeze back. As the tailbone drops and the left knee opens, keep length in the spine, maybe transferring your hands to meet one another in front of the chest or lifting the arms above the head. Take your hands up onto your hips. Point the left knee forward and straighten that leg. Lean toward that lifted leg. Holding for 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, bend the knee. Exhale, bring the foot to find the floor. Well done. Good. We're going to float and flow down onto the floor for the final leg of our practice this morning. Please exhale completely. Bend your knees, tap your fingers past your heels. As you inhale, find chair pose. Now hold here and relax. Relax the shoulders, relax the face. Spread the toes and plug them down into the mat. Squeeze the inner surface of your knees together gently and let the tailbone drop. Bring more attention into the fingers. Find the even distribution of effort in this shape to make it feel more effortless. Can you drop the tailbone a little bit lower? Inhale, press down through the feet, straighten the knees, gaze up to the thumbs as the palms meet, and as you exhale, float forward to Uttanasana. Last Uttanasana. Inhale, half lift, fluid spine. Exhale, refold. Let your hands find the earth and step or hop back to high plank. One inhale here to prepare, and as you exhale, come through Chaturanga. Check your tongue as you go. Inhale, last up dog, Jivha Bandha. Exhale, last down dog. Bring your knees to find the earth. Take a brief but well-deserved pit stop and break here in your child's pose. Just bringing your hands to rest alongside the feet. Let the elbows and arms drop out to the side so that you are in a fully flexed and rounded position through the spine. Enjoying that spread of the rib cage and the contact of your belly against your thighs. When you're ready, making your way to Dandasana, staff pose, with the legs out in front of you. From Dandasana, please bend your knees, feet to the floor, and just look down at the feet and knees, making sure that they are hip width apart. Sitting up tall, bring the back of your wrists and the heels of your hands to gently line up with the buttocks behind you. And now lift up onto the tips of your middle fingers before spinning the palms to face the back of the mat behind you and come to land on the palms. Spread the fingers and plug down into the palms of the hands, lifting the chest and squeeze the shoulder blades together. Drop the chin down. If your wrists are telling you that this angle of extension is too extreme, you can turn the fingers to slightly face out toward the long edges of the mat. If it's your chest that feels tight, you can wiggle your hands out wider toward the long edges of the mat, but keep the hands in the plane that they have landed in. That's your unique and perfect measurement. Keep squeezing the shoulder blades together, lifting the chest high and dropping the chin down. Cultivate a feeling of gently hugging the knees towards each other, like you're gripping a yoga block there. And now we'll experiment with some fascial flossing up the front of the arms and into the chest by creating a feeling of trying to drag the hands and sit bones closer together. There won't be a movement per se, but there will be an activation and energizing of the chest, the front of the arms. Keep the toes spread and gently gripping to the mat. Maintain that intention of slightly hugging the knees towards each other. Shoulder blades squeeze together, chest lifts, chin drops down. Keep tractioning, hugging the hips and the fingertips towards each other for 3 and 2 and 1. Great job. Taking those legs out long. Give your wrists a little bit of a shake and a rotation. When you're ready, please bend your right knee. Bring your right foot over to the left side of the left leg and either work with that left leg straight, or if you like, you can bend the left knee as well. But as always, please ensure that both of your sit bones are evenly situated on the mat. Picking up the right shin in the crook of your left elbow, take an inhale to lengthen the spine. And as you exhale, turn to the right. Let your eye gaze and your chin just slightly drop down toward the right shoulder. And then begin to tip the right ear down slightly and create a sense of gentle buoyancy and lifting in the left side of your jawbone. Checking your tongue, smoothing out your breath. Can you slow the breath down here and drop a little bit more awareness into the lower rib cage? Feeling the lift and flare of the rib cage with each breath. As you inhale, create slightly more length in your spine. Let the ribs lift, the lower back lengthen. Exhale to twist just a fraction further. Keeping the chin and the eye gaze oriented down toward the right shoulder. Drop the right ear down a fraction further. As you lift and shine the left corner of your jawbone up. Inhale, bring the head back through center. Exhale, release the chest and shoulders, taking both legs out long in front of you and folding forward into Paschimottanasana, seated forward bend. You can reach your hands forward toward the feet if you like, but avoid gripping through the chest and shoulders. Don't use your arms to drag or pull yourself into the forward bend. Instead, can you gently coax your sit bones further back? Connect with the pelvic floor. Gently hug the pelvic floor and use that anchor point to ripple the spine further forward, sending the crown of the head closer to the feet. Releasing yourself from your forward fold, Finding Dandasana, staff pose once more. Bending your left knee and taking the left foot over to the right side of the right leg. Maybe bending the right knee as well, but making sure that the left sit bone is anchored. As you inhale, or rather pick up your left shin in the crook of your right elbow. Let's do that first, shall we? And now finally, as you inhale, lengthen the spine, and exhale, turn to the left. Let your chin and your eye gaze just drop down toward that left shoulder. With the tongue against the roof of the mouth, begin to gently tip your left earlobe down as you reach the right jawbone up. Keep breathing. As you inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, find a little bit more rotation. And with the chin and the eye gaze anchored toward that left shoulder, let your left ear descend as you reach the right corner of your jawbone up. Stay with those lovely smooth breaths here. Some awareness in the lower borders of the rib cage as it moves with the breath. And now inhale, bring the head back through center. Exhale, bring the shoulders back. Good. Again, taking the legs out long in front of you. Just pausing here for a moment in Dandasana to reset. Plug the hands down onto the mat on either side of your hips. Lifting the heart. Take the eye gaze toward the space between your toes, feeling the knuckles of the big toes gently meeting as you peel the little toe sides of the feet gently back toward your face. When you're ready, bend your knees, place your feet flat on the floor, and make your way onto your back, hugging the knees in toward your chest, or even taking a happy baby shape if you like. It is time for our inversion. As always, the invitation is to take whatever inverted shape speaks to you today. The suggestions or range of options can be anything from a controlled, responsible headstand, if that is something that you're feeling called to, a shoulder stand, or even just a lovely, simple Viparita Karani Dandasana with the legs propped up against the wall or the back of the couch or bed. It is really nourishing to work your Viparita Karani with a bolster underneath your pelvis, or even propping the pelvis up on a stack of blocks. And take your time, as always, to arrange yourself to arrive in your inversion. And a reminder that the inversion should be steady enough for you to maintain for a while. This morning, we'll be aiming for 15 slow, controlled breaths. Of course, if you need to come out before then please do. And another little challenge this morning is to maintain a breath pace where you inhale for 4 counts and exhale for 4 counts, giving your mind an anchor. If you're in your shoulder stand, please keep the feet gently pressing against each other. Avoid the legs dropping apart so that you can keep a gentle activation in the pelvic floor. The tendency as soon as the feet separate is for the legs to become less controllable, for the pelvic floor to switch off and disengage. Try as much as possible to remain with those lovely, smooth, slow ujjayi breaths. Letting the face soften. In for 4 and out for 4. Of course, you are welcome to exit this shape if it's feeling unsteady. But at the end of your 15th breath, if you make it there, and I hope you do, exit gently out from the shape. As you come out of your inversion, listen to your body. What is it asking for in ways of rebounding and rebalancing? It might be about windscreen wiping the knees from side to side. It might be more about another hug of the knees in toward the chest. Take your time to set yourself up for your Shavasana. If it is a chilly morning where you are, please take your time to pop some extra layers back on to settle underneath the blanket. If your lower back is still feeling a little bit tight or it's gripping, you can support that with a bolster or cushion beneath the knees, and even elevate the heels slightly, letting the feet rest up on your yoga blocks, one underneath each foot. And as you come to settle in your Shavasana, it is time for me to leave you in this new 75-minute format, as I have some extra responsibilities on a Wednesday morning now. So please don't skimp on your Shavasana. Please stay here for at least 7 minutes. 10 minutes is better. 15 minutes is perfect. But give yourself this time to absorb the benefits of your practice. Know that I love yous, I respect yous, and I can't wait to see yous again next week. If you've got questions, comments, concerns, queries, or conundrums, reach out to me during the week. Stay in your Shavasana. See you soon. Love you. Bye.